If you would have told me even 5 years ago.
Okay, yes, my audio sounds like it was recorded in a toaster, but I promise if you ever struggled with social anxiety, these next 4 minutes might change your life forever.
That I would become a member of a public speaking club, I would have, number one, called you crazy. Number two, I would have asked, what type of drug are you on? I consider me being here speaking in front of you a miracle. And this is the story why. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder at 7 years old. I remember my parents brought me to the closest public therapist they could find. We went to the office. He brought this huge book. They call it the DSM-5, the Bible of therapy. But what I like to call it is the big book of limiting beliefs and labels. You'll understand why later. So he scrolls through the book and goes, ha, this is the little label we're gonna put on Daddy, right here. I'm kind of making fun of it, but the truth is, I couldn't really blame them. My mom couldn't get a good night's sleep for years because I was too afraid of monsters. That fear of monsters later turned into a fear of people. My family and I moved 4 times before I reached the age of 10. And 2 of these times were in primary school, where when you were new to the school, you got bullied for being the new kid. And I got bullied. So you can imagine the type of confidence, self-esteem, and trust in other people I had when it was time to go to high school. That's when a second label was added to the collection: social anxiety disorder. Again, could I really blame them though? I had this crush on my high school classmate for 4 years, and I couldn't say a single word to her. Presentations were my biggest fear. I remember one time I knocked on the director's door. I said, "Sir, I am ready to fail drama class. Whatever it takes, as long as I don't do improv." God bless my teachers at the moment, who I'm still friends with. They made me pass right at 60, but I still didn't do improv. I'm a very stubborn person. That pattern lasted for years, and at this point of the presentation, I kind of sound like a victim. But the truth is, I left out a very important part of the story. This whole time, I had this fire inside of me, a calling that just wouldn't let me settle. I knew I was destined for more. I knew I was living below my potential. You can call that fire God, the universe, grace, doesn't matter. It was there. And I ended up listening to it. One day, I made a decision that every single day of my life, I would take one step forward out of my comfort zone. And so I did. If I saw a beautiful group of women, I would approach them. If I had the opportunity to speak, to be a volunteer to speak somewhere, I would do it. And it sucked. It was horrible. I was terrified. But I still did it. Next thing you know, just a few years later, not only do I do this for fun, I come here every week, I do improv for fun, but it's also my career. So what happened to the labels? What happened to the labels? I say, screw the labels. We get to choose who we are. We get to be the authors of our own story. The pen is in your hands. Back to you.